Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the channel, it's Bertrude. Today we're back on Elden Ring and we're using one of my strong builds. This is the Mushroom King. Let's take a little look at the stats. So it's a level 200 build. This was previously a level 150 build, but I've increased it to 200. We've got 70 Vigour, 60 Dexterity and 60 Arcane. In our flask we're using the Opaline Hard Tier for the damage negation and the Thorny Crack Tier to boost our successive attack power. And here's a quick look at the armour and talismans we're using on the build. Our main weapons on the build will consist of either 2 Warhawk Talons or 2 Scavenger Curve Swords. I alternate between these two, but both sets of weapons have got the exact 2 same Ashes of War on them. The first being Poisonous Mist and then the second one being Seppuku. As I said, these 2 Ashes of War are the same on the Warhawk Talons and the Scavenger Curve Swords. In our offhand, we'll have a selection of weapons to use to apply some big damage with our Ashes of War. And that's the build guys. There's quite a particular playstyle to this one. I'll explain as the video goes on. Anyway guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, but it's time for you lot to sit back and enjoy the video. Here we go guys, the Mushroom King. As I said in the intro, this is one of my really strong builds. Ever since I first made it, it was just a good start. It's never been a weak build. I've never had to tweak it too much. It was always just a really strong build. I've made some changes to it since the last time you saw it. This used to be a pure poison build. All the weapons were poison infused, but I've actually made it a poison bleed build now. I've increased the level up to 200, it was 150, but I've increased it to 200 just because I've been having such a good time on other builds, invading at 200. I thought I'd take a couple more of my other builds up to 200 as well. So doing that, I was able to invest a few more points into Arcane. We've got 60 Dexterity and 60 Arcane. So I decided to make it a Poison Bleed build and infuse one of my main weapons with blood. So I've got a poison weapon and a bleed weapon on the main 2 weapons that I'm using on the build. Now let me just explain the playstyle with this one a little bit. It's all about stacking buffs. It's not just about attacking our opponents blindly and just trying to get blood procs and all that. It's not really about that. Although there is a bleed aspect to this build, it's not really about that. As I said, it's all about stacking buffs. So the first thing we're going to do at the start of each invasion is use Seppuku on ourselves, and that's not for bleed purposes, believe it or not. It's to start the first buff. We've got the Lord of Blood's Exaltation, and Seppuku is to start the first buff. That's one buff. Then our second weapon, Poison Infused, we've got High Arcane. It's really easy to inflict poison. That starts 2 more buffs. So we've got the Lord of Rot's Exaltation and the Mushroom Crown, so that's 3 buffs going. If you look at our flask, we've got the consecutive attack buffs. That's another buff. And then we've also got the Shard of Alexander. That's another buff. So once poison is inflicted, we've used Seppuku on ourselves. All of our buffs are active. We swap to our second weapon in our offhand and we look to land some of the Ashes of War, and then with all of our buffs stacked, everything at full damage, we are putting out some absolutely insane damage numbers. As I said, this build is really strong. Any build at level 200 these days is going to be really strong, but this build has been strong at any level. I initially had it at 125, it was strong there. Took it up to 150, it was strong there. And then I've decided to take it up to 200, as I said, just because I've been really enjoying 200 and it is super strong at level 200. So overall it's just a really strong build, and the playstyle of it is really cool as well. It's got this it's like a little mini game, isn't it? Stacking the buffs, getting the damage flowing, and then landing the Ashes of War for some absolutely insane damage. Another buff I actually forgot to mention is one of our talismans. We're using the consecutive attack talisman, the one that gives us a damage buff when we land consecutive attacks. So yeah, bearing in mind all of our other buffs, we've got the consecutive attack buff in our flask and the consecutive attack buff talisman. That's just going to help our main weapon attacks, not to mention some of our Ashes of War as well. So this build is just getting damage buffs all over the place. The only thing is, it can be a bit of a hassle at the start of the invasions, drinking our flask, eating some sweet boiled crab, and then using Seppuku. It's a little bit of a faff. I don't usually like doing too many buffs at the start, but it is what it is. It's not too bad. I've just got to deal with it. Stop being a little crybaby, Bertrude. Stop being a little, you know what I want to say, but I don't want to say it. A little witch. Stop being a little witch, Bertrude. Just do the buffs, man. That's what the build is. So just do it. As you can see with these two now, let's start looking at these invasions. We've got the Morgue Spear. Now, he's making it difficult because I can't get too close to him because he just keeps popping that Ash of War. Meanwhile, his little fatty bum friend there with the Bloodhound's Fang doing his spinneroony, I'm going invisible and then I'm going to slice you in half, Ash of War, which happens to do 6 trillion million damage on you when it lands. So, these two making it pretty difficult. It's not an easy invasion, and I've got myself backed up into this little corner. So I need to do some big brain attacks here. Nice little switcheroony there with the main attacks. You can see the damage buffs on the consecutive attacks, if I can say it. The consecutive attacks. We managed to kill the summon. And we've got the Host Wheeler low now. Pretty much just a done deal. We've just got to finish him off. We miss him with the Nox Flowing Curve Sword Ash of War. Absolutely epic. Epic sword. Really good Ash of War. We just chase him down. And we just finished the job. We just finished the job, guys, with this build. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's just a beautiful thing. Now we're at the Gatefront Ruins. I just love level 200, guys. Level 200, honestly, I think at the minute it's just the best. It's just the best level range. You just get invasions all over the map. It's just brilliant. It's a really, really good level. If you've not tried 200, I highly, highly recommend it. At the minute, I'm really enjoying it. The next build that I'm going to use for the next video is another build that I've took up to level 200 as well. So you're going to see a new build up at level 200 again. It's just the best level range at the moment. That and level 30, I would say. 200, level 30, at the minute at least. Two of my favourite weapon ranges, level ranges to invade. We've got a Guts cosplay here. If you remember a few videos back, I was having a little whinge about Guts. I'm sick of him. I'm sick to death of Guts, guys. It's like, come on, man. Think of a different cosplay, for God's sake. There's nothing original about it. You're not big and you're not clever. He just knocked me out the Ash of War on the Hand of Melania there, but it doesn't matter because I'm going in for another one. Look at that, consecutive buff power. He was poisoned. We've got a couple more buffs going, and he just stands no chance at all. Guts or not. Guts or not. Guts is a little weak girl. I'm sick of him. I'm sick of Guts. If I saw Guts out in the street, I'd run over to him and I'd poke him. I'd poke him with my finger and I'd point at him and I'd say, I'm sick of you, Guts. I'm sick of seeing you in Elden Ring. Please stop inspiring all these players to copy you, because they're never any good. And yeah, I'm just sick of your face. So if I see you again, you're going to get more than a poke in your chest with my finger. You're going to get a slap on the face, my friend. I don't want to see you again. Stop it. Stop doing Guts, guys. Please, come on. There's other cosplays we can do now. Let's get creative, shall we? Let's get a little bit creative. I'm sick of Guts. That's it. That's the last I'm going to say about it. I'm sick of Guts. And we just absolutely destroyed that summon in the Stormvale Castle there with the whip. Really, really cool. We've got the Royal Knight's Resolve on it, so we get all our buffs stacked. We use the Royal Knight's Resolve, get another damage buff on the whip, and then we land a really strong heavy attack, and it's often enough to just take them out in one shot. We've got this host now, and you can see he's got the big boy armour on. He's got the Vets set. He doesn't really know what he's doing. He's just spamming that Ash of War at me. The Rivers of Blood. You all know what that is, don't you? That needs no introduction. It's just basically now just a timing game. I'm just trying to find the right window to land that heavy attack. This is it. Good night, sunshine. See you later. Easy peasy. You know, when they're spamming that Rivers of Blood at you mindlessly like that, it's often just a case of biding your time and getting the right attack in. Now, I'm going to show you how to deal with the Lake of Rot invasion, guys. We all struggle with this area. This is how you deal with it. Watch this. Absolutely genius. Watch. Bosh. And that's how you do it, guys. Perfect invasion there in the Lake of Rot. Yeah, just note that one down. Next time you're in the Lake of Rot, do that and you're sure to have success. That's how easy it is, guys. That is how easy it is to invade in the Lake of Rot. Just remember that. This is a good invasion. I remember this one. We've got our waves of Wii here. He's weeing at us. We've got the Stormhawk axes, or the Warhawk. What am I saying? It's not an axe, it's a straight sword. We've got the Warhawk straight swords, and we just absolutely slice and dice. The Hand of Millennia. Slicing and dicing, chopping them up into little pieces. It was just a massacre, guys. There's just blood everywhere. It's a beautiful thing. The sight of blood excites me. I like it. Everyone's chopped up. It's great. It was all a bit violent. It was all a bit. It was all a bit much. There's just bits of them everywhere. Now we've got this duo, and this was a really, really tough invasion. This was a really good invasion. Really, this is a bit of a war. So let's get going. We've got the Scavenger Curve Swords. He's got seppuku of his own, so we both use seppuku. It's absolutely fine. And he's got the Bloodhound Step as well. But if you keep an eye on this guy, often when people are using Bloodhound Step, they just kind of spam it, and they don't direct it very well. I've had that a couple of times where they kind of use Bloodhound Step, but they spam it and they come back towards you and they can't really control it very well. But this summon is actually using it really, really well, to be fair. He's kind of controlling it really well. He's not spamming it. He's using it once in the right direction to get away, and then he comes back in. Really clever play. I've not got a problem with this whatsoever. He's not just abusing it. He's kind of using it in a very clever way, and I respect that, guys. You know, I can't say anything else. I just respect it. This was a good fight. Two relatively honest players. You know, it's not too bad this at all. It's a good invasion. One of them's using daggers, and he's got this fire setup going. He's using that fire spell. It's really cool. It's a bit of a war, this one. Poisonous Mist on the Scavenger's Curve Sword. Really good. It's got good hyper armor as well. Something that you often forget about with Poisonous Mist. It's got some really good hyper armor, and it can often poise through attacks and land a good hit, as well as obviously delivering the Poisonous Mist. So yeah, it's really, really good one. You can see these two are working really well together. They're putting me under a lot of pressure. I'm down to my last heals. It's getting a little bit tense now. I'm poisoned, I'm bleeding. It's a difficult one. They're putting me under loads and loads of pressure still. You can see the host has got that flippity flip. I'm going to throw my red laser beam at you, which does 1,000,000 damage. Dagger. That's a really good dagger. The Ash of War in it is insane. He's using the Scarlet Aeonia as well, the host. Mad respect, man. Mad respect. I love that spell. It's hard to use, but fair play for using it. That's what you got to do. You got to be a bit original. I'm just trying to get this summon here. This is my only chance to win this invasion now. I'm out of heals. The summon's low. All my efforts at this point are just going into trying to kill him. Get her heals back, and then we can carry on. But I managed to kill him. The host does his flippity flip, red laser beam, Ash of War, and he kills us. But I don't mind that, because it was a great invasion. Two good players. We had a really, really good war, good battle. Yeah, no complaints about that one, really. Sometimes you lose them, sometimes you win them. But if you lose them and it's been a really good fight like that one, then no complaints. It's all good, it's all good. Now we've got two Crucible Knights. This is the kind of cosplay you want. You know, I'm sick of guts, but I'll take some more Crucible Knights. Little bit careless of me, they're going for an extra attack. I got hit with the Blasphemous Blade Ash of War. But we're still in the game, we've back up, we managed to get some heals out. Crucible Knights here, yeah, I like it. I like it as long as it's not guts, and I'm happy. Plus as well, with the Crucible Knights, you get some really good health and damage resistance and poison stuff. It's a good armor set. And there we go, that's a kill on the host. Two Crucible Knights, put up a good fight, but the Mushroom King came out on top. You're going to have to do quite a lot to get the better of this build. Yeah, it's really strong. Like, the success rate on this one is pretty ridiculous, to be honest. Some of my builds are definitely stronger than others. Some of my builds are quite weak and quirky. But I do have a few builds that are just strong, guys. It's nice to rotate around to some builds sometimes that you know you are going to get, you know, a majority of wins on rather than losses. It's just a nice mix-up. It's a nice one to have some strong builds and some more quirky builds mixed in as well. But you'll see this guy is using the whip, and this guy is spamming the Bloodhound Step with it a little bit too regularly for my liking. compared to the summon in the other fight a couple of invasions ago. He was using it very cleverly. This guy is kind of abusing it. And he's being a little bit of a pest with those whips. And it just so happened on this invasion, I've got my own whip. So I decided to get the whip out and show him whose whip is the best. Because I've got the better whip, and I'm going to teach him a lesson not to abuse the whips. Because, you know, you've got to respect the whips, and the whips will respect you. It goes both ways, guys. So I get my whip out, and I just start sticking it to him with the whip all's up in him. And he's being a bit of a pain with a bloodhound step. But the pressure I'm keeping up on him here is ridiculous. And he's poisoned, his health's sticking down. And there you go, get whipped. That's what you get. That's what you get. You know, you mess about, you'll get found out with the whips. That's how we do it. Stormvale Castle, this is what I mean about level 200, guys. You get invasions absolutely everywhere. It's just great, and I love invading at Stormvale. That's what's really good about level 30, is that you get a lot of Stormvale invasions. But when you're getting invasions at Stormvale at level 200 as well, there's not much to complain about. Look at this, I don't know how I didn't die here. I don't know how I'm alive. I don't know how I just killed 2 of them, but I did. So I'll take it, you know, I'm not complaining at that one. A win's a win. This was a good invasion. This is actually an invasion that's ongoing currently. There's a red in here already against 2 players, a host and his phantom. And I show up to lend a bit of moral support. I'm going straight after the summon on this one. It looks like the summon's out of heals because he's using the warming stone. In fact, I think it's the frenzied warming stone that he's using. Because I notice I get a bit of frenzy build up when I step into it, but he's clearly out of heals, so he's my main target. I'm going straight for him, trying to get him out of the picture, and then me and the other red can go and finish the job on the host. But this summon, you know, he's got his own curved swords. Always dangerous. Always dangerous. They're going to do a lot of damage depending on his setup. I'm not really sure what. Oh, it looks like the cold infused curved swords, which are dangerous on their own, you know. They're very dangerous. I've got to watch out for that. If he gets a blood proc on me, a cold proc on me even, that could have done a lot of damage. But we managed to avoid his attacks and we managed to kill the summon. Now it's just the host. We can go and put some pressure on this host with our fellow red and get another win in this invasion. I love it when you spawn into an invasion that's ongoing. There's already a red in there when you come in and show that support and get the win. I just hope, as we all do, we're all hoping that in the DLC we get an increase in players' invasion spaces. You know the crack, we all want bigger numbers for invasions, we all want more regular co-op invasions like that. It's just the best, isn't it? We all love that stuff. Hopefully FromSoft pulls their fingers out and gives us what we want in a DLC. Anyway guys, this is the last invasion of the video. We're up here in the mountain tops of the giants, and we've got this big chunky boy to deal with. We've got the scavenger curved swords. He's got that upward slash, so I've got to watch out for that. He's got some big poise. He's going to be able to do some damage with that if he gets close enough. But we're going at him with the Nagakiba and the double slash. He's low health here. You can see that he lands the upward slash on us, sends us flying into the sky. But I come at him with the double slash and it's a done deal. I've just got to go and chase the horse down now and finish the video off in style. I hope you've enjoyed this one, guys. Strong build, really strong build. Highly recommend it. It's a really cool playstyle. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. Look after yourselves, look after each other. I'll see you all on the next video.